The most dangerous part of John's morning was not the chest pain. It was the calm, the quiet, the feeling that nothing was wrong. John was 72 years old, a retired school supervisor, a man who still folded his pajamas before breakfast, a man who still checked the mailbox himself, a man who told his daughter every Sunday, "I'm fine, don't worry about me." And on that morning, at 6:30 a.m., he woke up exactly the same way. No warning, no pain, no fear. Just the soft glow of morning light through the curtain, the sound of a clock ticking beside the bed, and the same thought he had every morning: coffee first. But inside John's body, something had already started. Before his eyes opened, before his feet touched the floor, before the first sip of coffee ever reached his lips, his heart was already working harder than he knew. At dawn, the body begins to wake itself up. Stress hormones rise. Heart rate begins to climb. Blood vessels start to tighten. Blood pressure begins to shift. This is normal. This is how the body prepares you for the day. But after 60, normal can become dangerous because the arteries are not as soft as they used to be. The blood pressure reflex is not as fast as it once was. And the heart may be carrying silent problems a person cannot feel. John did what millions of older adults do every morning. He sat up quickly. He stood too fast. He walked to the kitchen. And he reached for the one thing that had started every day of his life for the last 40 years. A cup, a spoon, a dark stream of hot black coffee. Nobody could explain what happened next, not at first, because from the outside, John looked healthy. He had no dramatic symptom, no warning sign written across his face. No one watching him would have said, "This man is in danger." But the body does not always scream before it breaks. Sometimes it whispers, and John missed the whisper. His mouth was dry. His legs felt a little heavy. His head felt slightly light when he stood, but he ignored it, because at 72, small dizziness can feel ordinary. A dry mouth can feel ordinary. A fast heartbeat can feel ordinary. And that is the most frightening part. Many older adults do not ignore danger because they are careless. They ignore it because it feels normal. John poured the coffee, strong, black, hot, the same way he always liked it. He held the mug with both hands. The steam rose toward his face, and for a few seconds everything felt peaceful. But inside him, his body was not peaceful. It was under pressure. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, many older adults wake with lower fluid levels, no water through the night, slow breathing for hours, maybe a trip to the bathroom, maybe a water pill taken the day before, maybe not enough fluids yesterday. All of it can leave the body starting the day with less volume than it needs. And when blood volume is low, blood pressure can become unstable. It can drop. Then the body panics. Then it pushes back. The heart beats harder. The blood vessels tighten. The system tries to correct itself. Now add caffeine. Coffee is not poison. Coffee is not automatically dangerous. For many people, it is safe. For some, it may even fit into a healthy life. But here is where everything changes. When an older body wakes up dry, when the person stands too fast, when the heart is already riding the morning hormone surge, and when strong coffee comes before water, that harmless habit can become one more push, not the only cause, not the whole story, but one more push in the wrong 30 seconds. John took his first sip, then another. He turned toward the window. His kitchen was quiet. The refrigerator hummed. A spoon rested beside the sugar bowl. Nothing dramatic, nothing cinematic, just an old man drinking coffee in a small kitchen. Then his vision blurred. He blinked. He gripped the counter. His heart began pounding, not gently, not normally, but hard enough that he could feel it in his throat. He tried to breathe, but the breath felt short. He told himself it was nothing. Maybe he stood too fast. Maybe he needed to sit. Maybe the coffee was too strong. Then came the pressure. Not sharp, not stabbing, but heavy, deep, like someone had placed a stone in the center of his chest. And this is the part nobody talks about. Most heart attacks do not begin like a movie. They do not always begin with a man grabbing his chest and falling instantly. Sometimes they begin with confusion, sweat, weakness, a strange pressure, a feeling that something is not right, but not enough to make the person call for help. John looked toward the hallway. His wife was still asleep. He wanted to call her name, but the room tilted. The mug slipped from his hand. Coffee hit the floor. The sound was sharp. Then everything went quiet. By the time his wife reached him, John was on the kitchen floor, one hand near his chest, the other still curled, as if he were holding the cup. Later, the doctors would explain the heart attack. They would talk about blood pressure, morning surges, age, possible plaque, dehydration, caffeine, standing too fast. They would explain the pieces, but in that first moment, his wife only had one question. How did this happen? He was fine 10 minutes ago. That question is why this story matters, because John did not wake up planning to make a mistake. He did not do anything strange. He did what older adults do every single morning. He got up. He made coffee. He started his day. And that is why this danger hides so well. It wears the face of routine. The truth is, the first minutes after waking are not ordinary minutes. For the heart, they are a transition zone. During sleep, the body is resting. Heart rate is lower. Blood pressure is lower. The nervous system is calmer. But as morning approaches, the body begins to shift into action. Hormones rise. Blood vessels tighten. Blood pressure begins its morning climb. The blood may also become more likely to clot during the early morning rhythm of the body. Researchers have noted that heart attacks are more common in the morning, and Harvard Health has discussed how the body's internal clock can influence clotting and heart risk around dawn. Now imagine being over 60. Your blood vessels may be stiffer. Your balance may be slower. Your blood pressure response may not adjust as quickly. And if you stand suddenly, gravity pulls blood down toward the legs. For a younger body, this is usually handled quickly, but in many older adults, the pressure can drop. This is called orthostatic hypotension. It can cause dizziness, blurred vision, weakness, or fainting, and it becomes more common with age. But here is the dangerous part. Some people do not faint. They just feel off, a little dizzy, a little weak, a little foggy. Then they continue. They walk. They shower. They drink coffee. They take pills. They rush. And the heart has to keep correcting. Again, and again, and again. This does not mean every cup of coffee is dangerous. It does not mean every older adult must fear breakfast. It means timing matters. Order matters. The first 30 seconds matter. Because John's mistake was not just coffee. His mistake was coffee before water, movement before balance, routine before awareness. And millions of people do the same thing. They wake up dry. They stand up fast. They reach for caffeine. They swallow pills. They hurry toward the bathroom. They step into a hot shower. And they never ask, what is my heart dealing with right now? If you are over 60, or if someone you love is over 60, this is the moment to pay attention. Because the goal is not fear. The goal is prevention. The goal is to turn the most dangerous part of the morning into the safest part of the day. And it begins with one simple rule: water before coffee. Not because water is magic, not because coffee is evil, but because your body has just gone hours without fluid. Your heart is starting the day with whatever volume your body has left. If that volume is low, blood pressure can become unstable. Cleveland Clinic explains that dehydration can affect blood pressure and may cause drops or shifts that make the body work harder to compensate. For an older adult, that compensation can feel like a racing heart, lightheadedness, weakness, pressure, or that strange feeling of being not quite right. And many people brush it off. They say, it happens every morning. But something happening every morning does not mean it is harmless. So before coffee, before pills, before the hot shower, before the rushed walk to the bathroom, drink water, a full glass if your doctor allows it, room temperature, slowly, sitting down. Let your body receive it. Let your circulation wake up. Let your heart start the day with support instead of stress. And if you take morning medicines, especially blood pressure medicine or a water pill, do not change anything on your own. That is important. Do not skip medicine. Do not move the timing. Do not double a dose. Do not experiment. Talk to your doctor. Ask one simple question: should I drink water before taking this medicine in the morning? That question may sound small, but for some people it can open a life-saving conversation. Because diuretics, often called water pills, can increase urination and may affect body fluids and minerals like potassium or magnesium, which doctors may monitor depending on the patient and medication. And here is the hidden truth. Many older adults are not harmed by one big mistake. They are harmed by stacked small ones: standing too quickly, no water, strong coffee, hot shower, morning pills, rushing, stress, all within a few minutes. Each one may look harmless alone, but together they can create a dangerous load. If this story makes you think of your father, your mother, your husband, your wife, or even yourself, do not ignore that feeling. And if this kind of health warning is useful to you, subscribe to this channel, not because we want to scare you, but because small habits, explained clearly, can protect people before the emergency happens. Now let's talk about the habits John did after coffee, because this is where many people unknowingly add more pressure to the heart. After his coffee, John moved toward the bathroom. He still felt a little strange, but he did what he always did. He turned on the shower. Hot, steaming, almost scalding. The mirror began to fog. The room filled with heat. And for a moment, he thought the warm water would help. But hot water can relax and widen blood vessels. For someone prone to blood pressure drops, that can make dizziness worse. Cleveland Clinic notes that hot temperatures, including hot tubs or showers, can worsen symptoms in people with orthostatic hypotension. This is why some older adults feel weak in the shower, why they lean against the wall, why they step out dizzy, why the bathroom becomes one of the most dangerous rooms in the house. Not because it looks dangerous, because it feels normal. A hot shower, a slippery floor, a fast turn, a weak moment. That is all it takes. And the real pain begins when people blame themselves after the fall. They say, I should have been more careful. But no one ever explained the body mechanics. No one told them that heat, dehydration, blood pressure medicine, and standing too fast can all connect. No one told them the morning is not the time to rush. So here is the better way. Do not run into the day. Enter it slowly. gently, like you are allowing your heart to catch up with your life. When you wake up, do not jump. Open your eyes, take one breath, then another, then another. Let the room come into focus. Sit up slowly. Place your feet on the floor. Move your toes. Circle your ankles. Let the calf muscles help push blood upward. Then drink your water. Then stand with support. Hold the bed. Hold the wall. Hold a rail. Give yourself 10 seconds before taking the first step. 10 seconds can be the difference between control and collapse. And when it is time to shower, choose warm water, not extreme heat. Sit if you need to. Use a grab bar if you have one. Do not be proud in the bathroom. Safety is not weakness. Safety is wisdom. The people who love you do not need you to prove you are strong. They need you here. And if you often feel dizzy in the morning, if your heart races, if your vision blurs, if you feel chest pressure, shortness of breath, sweating, nausea, or pain going to the arm, jaw, back, or shoulder, do not turn it into a guessing game. Call emergency help. Speak to a doctor. Tell them when it happens. Tell them what medicines you take. Tell them whether it happens after standing, coffee, showering, or pills, because the pattern matters. John's story was frightening because it looked sudden, but looking back, the signs were there. A dry mouth, a quick stand, coffee before water, dizziness, heat, rushing, tiny warnings stacked like dominoes. And the beautiful thing is, dominoes can be stopped. Not always, not perfectly, but often enough to matter. So let's build the safer morning. Not complicated, not expensive, no machine, no miracle drink, no fear-based rule, just a calm start. Keep a glass of water beside your bed tonight. Not tomorrow, tonight. Before you sleep, place it where your hand can reach it. When you wake, do not move fast. First, breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth, again and again. Then sit up slowly. Let your body know the night is over. Let your blood pressure adjust. Let your heart find its rhythm. Then drink your water. Not in panic, not as medicine, just as support. A simple message to the body. We are starting gently today. Then move your feet. Wiggle your toes. Circle your ankles. Press your feet into the floor. These tiny movements help your legs wake up before your whole body has to stand. Then rise slowly. Hold something sturdy. Stand still. Count to 10. Then walk. That is the heart-safe dawn. It does not remove every risk. It does not replace medical care. It does not mean you can ignore symptoms. But it changes the first 30 seconds. And those 30 seconds are where many older adults make the same mistake every morning. They force the body to go from sleep to standing to caffeine to movement to heat all at once. But the heart does not like sudden. The heart likes rhythm. The heart likes preparation. The heart likes time. John's wife later said something that stayed with everyone in that room. She said, he had done that same routine for years, and that was the lesson. A routine can feel safe, only because nothing has happened yet. So tomorrow morning, do not test your body. Support it. Before coffee, water. Before standing, sitting. Before rushing, breathing. Before pride, safety. And before ignoring a symptom, listen. Because sometimes the body whispers before it screams. If you are over 60, this message is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to slow you down, just enough, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, one glass of water, one careful stand, one safer morning. That is not a small thing. That is a promise to your heart. A promise that says, after all these years of beating for you, every minute, every hour, every night, you will finally give it a gentle beginning. And maybe that is how a tragedy is prevented. Not with a dramatic rescue, not with a hospital machine, but with a quiet glass of water on a nightstand, waiting for sunrise. So tonight, before you sleep, place that glass beside your bed. And tomorrow, when morning comes, do not rush. Your day can wait. Your coffee can wait. Your heart should not have to. Take care of your heart, take care of your morning, and take care of the people who still need you here. Because sometimes the most powerful, life-saving habit is simply learning how to begin the day slowly. Always speak with your doctor about chest pain, dizziness, fainting, medication timing, fluid limits, or any health condition. But do not wait for a scare to respect your morning. John thought he was starting another ordinary day. He was wrong, and that is why you are hearing this now. Tomorrow morning, give your heart the first 30 seconds. It has given you a lifetime.